But they need to tap into that.
They need to. And if you look at it, we are the financial service center, the banking center, the entertainment center for the whole country. So this country is really, really a gold mine of opportunities if they were leveraged. And, you know, everybody just needs to do a little more.
In your target, you say you're targeting 30%. Can you say how much of that you've covered now?
I think that we are about 18, 19% now, and almost from very modest takeoff.
But okay, do you have a time frame you're hoping to achieve the 30%?
Well, unfortunately, I can't say now that this for me is a journey, and we have moved from zero. The budget for agri, I mean, has multiplied tenfold, and again, we see the end game. Sustainability is always critical, and therefore you grow small, stabilize, expand, stabilize, and consolidate. And the thing also is not just only the end game. What is the purpose? The purpose is to provide economic opportunities, to empower people, to create a new set of farmers with a new attitude, with a belief in the power of the land.
Okay, Your Excellency, Chairman, sorry. From your statements now, you've talked about diversifying the economy of Lagos, a financial hub, an entertainment hub, now possibly an agricultural hub, possibly, even though you have a small landmass. And in all of these, you've cut across several states. You've talked about venturing into other states to farm. Let's look at infrastructure, for instance. Road network. How is it going in Lagos, and how is that impacting on other states?
Well, I think the road construction work and road development work is going good. We have substantially met our targets, and it's work that will not finish. As I say, we committed to 400 roads in my second term. I'm focusing on inner city roads. This year alone, I mean, I've gone from Mushin to Badagry, been to Ikeja, I've been to, in fact, it happened so fast I can't recall, handing over roads, and it's a continuing process. And also inspecting roads that are facing challenges, sometimes challenges of getting the right of way, people's fences where we have to move, some in court, but work is going on. And as the roads get finished, people are experiencing improved journey times, and our desire is to improve those journey times, and therefore save cost of transportation, make business transactions much more efficient, and so on and so forth.
We have people who have said they've got a challenge accessing land for agricultural purpose, and then they cite the challenge they face with the Land Use Act, which vests all land in state and local government. Do you think the Land Use Act should be repealed?
No, I disagree.
Why?
First of all, I think that before you begin to say change something, you have to understand whether it's the act that is the problem or whether it is its implementation that is the problem. I hold the view that there is nothing wrong with the act. And what the act sought to achieve was to bring some stability into land management. Before the act, the country used to run 2 land tenure systems. And the act consolidated a general land tenure system for the country. And the interesting thing about it is that it is one legislation where everybody knows what each section means and what rights it confers, because every section of that legislation has been litigated almost to the Supreme Court. Now, that's a lot of work in terms of research, in terms of taxpayers' money, in terms of judicial time, that has created certainty about what this law is. And that's a very strong value for a law to have. You can't throw away all of that work simply because some people feel that the system is not working. Now, why is the system not working? In Lagos, I can tell you the problems that we have. First of all, the applications that we deal with in a week is sometimes what some states deal with in an entire month. Now, You can't, therefore, continue to process land applications with ledger moving files. You have to automate. If the demand is I mean, you are carrying iPads today. It's part of automation to increase your work and your access to information. Now, we face challenges of power. We face challenges of fiber optic bandwidth to carry data and stuff. I've started issuing, for example, electronic COVs. That's because I believe that the system will be more efficient if it was automated. I don't have to carry 1,000 files every weekend. I can do it on my iPad. But we're still having technical problems. Sometimes the only place where I can get connectivity is the office. Sometimes the main server is down because power is down over the weekend, and therefore you lose working time. But I think that if we sort that out, it will validate the position that I take, that there's nothing wrong with the act. It's the administration of the act that is the problem. And then, again, people say all sorts of things about difficulties. They probably don't tell you what the real problems are, that some of the problem is theirs. Documentation is incomplete. People stay outside the formal and the legal economy, and therefore when they are processing documents in the name of Company A, then you can't find the subscribers to Company A. Then Mr. B brings his document and says, and look, if you want service from government, for example, you pay administrative costs, you pay taxes. If your taxes aren't complete, then we had problems with fiscal planning. For people were complaining there was no. We rolled out about 706 planning permits in 6 months last year. We started a Saturday service in Lagos for places where we thought that there were service issues. People couldn't get service because they were working during the week. Land was one place where people were complaining there was pain. Transportation, vehicle license, motor vehicle administration, fiscal planning. I'm trying to remember where the fourth one was. But you know the interesting thing? 4 months after we started, we are only getting attendance in motor vehicle licensing. A few people turned up to say, oh yes, all the people who said they are, because the real problem is that documentation, people don't keep records, and they seem to enjoy surviving outside the legal framework. And therefore they tell you, oh, my document has been there for 4 years. And sometimes also people don't do things by themselves. They don't want to go to banks to pay. They use proxies who take advantage of the system and say, no, you know, I've just been to allow Sana. You know, I can't find the officer on desk. Oh, they said I should bring money. And ultimately, and this is not exculpating anybody. I mean, in some places you will have difficulties and all of that. But what you will find is that he makes the desire that you the position that you have taken, that you can't do anything for yourself. Somebody must go and pay for you in the bank. That's why we saw in some cases, banking cases, where we told them, don't give cash to our officers. Is that so hard to comply with?
They want their cash handling charges.
Yes, go and pay into your own account. Give us your teller. Now you come, you can't go to the bank. You now give a check to our staff to say, pay for me.
Let me bring in this perspective, because I know that at the end of the day, this retreat, there will be maybe a document, I don't know what you would call it. Some governors, yes, they may subscribe to all the text of that document. Others may think, well, I have issues with this one. But much as you may have excellent relationships with some of the governors on the other side, how do we draw, or how do we begin to break the walls or draw the line between governance and politics? Because maybe behind the scenes you may have that relationship, but the impression the public has of politicians on either side is that of friction.
Well, it's unfortunate that people have chosen to define politics that way, but I disagree with that definition of politics. For me, politics is a noble service, it's a noble calling, it's a calling that challenges you to use political authority and power to improve the lives of people who entrust you with their mandate to say, look, go and do this for us. And it is important also, when you see what is happening across the world, that the public seems to find the response globally of public servants perhaps not too quick enough for them, especially with communication and all of that now. As I say, look, time was when you could write a letter to a political or governmental institution and they are processing a reply. Now, My phone is out there, so if you can't get me by SMS, somebody say reply. I want to hear now, quick. And so it's only representative governance that is still the best way. You can't put 21 million Nigerians, Lagosians, in a parliamentary building and expect that you will have a useful debate. And that's the whole idea behind representative governance, that let one person go and represent a constituency. So for me, those who believe that politics is for the purpose of doing things other than noble things, managing communal resources, applying the standard best practice of the greatest good for the greatest number, have another thing entirely, and it's bad behavior. I don't agree that that is politics. And I think that we must find a name, another name for them.
All right, Governor Babatunde Fashola, SAN, and Governor of Lagos State, thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Well, that's it today on Sunrise Daily. We thank you all for watching. We'll see you next week. Yes, I remember. Thank you for watching. I'm Chamberlain Osol.
I'm Neo Taegbe.
Well, good to know that you remember the Chamberlain.
Yeah,
it's Friday at last.
actually.
No, it's Friday. It looks like Friday. I'm Sulaiman. Thanks for watching.
Bye now.